but we're buying it when it crosses 70. So this candle right here. And I think we were selling it when it either hit 80 or when it hooked back down. So our hook would have been right here, which I think is a good place no matter what, right? Simple RSI strategy, as simple as possible. No way it could work, right, Akil? Because it's so simple, right? So something else I would use in these situations, even though I think this is cool how it is, if I wanted an exit indicator, a different one, let's say other than the RSI hooking, I would just use a stochastics hook. And, you got to play around with your, stocks on the brain. That reminds me of like Apple. I told you guys this before. I cannot spell Apple the correct way. It is funny. I should do a little TikTok thing. How to know you're a trader when you write app or an investor. When you write Apple, AAPL every time. So, but yeah, so a stochastic cross would be another way. You'd have to speed this thing up. But like when our green line here crosses back over the red line, and this one would be a little bit less, right? That would be your exit when green crosses the red, right? So green crosses the red. In this case, the RSI is actually a little bit quicker, 86. So when the K crosses the D, this one right here would be your exit based off the stochastics. Now what you do is you play around with this stuff, right? If you want it quicker, if you notice that, hey man, I'm giving a little bit too much back before I get this signal, right? For you guys that are newer, maybe haven't heard me say this before, my opinion is that you should never use the default indicator settings. The default indicator settings are not the optimized settings. I think that's a big myth that many of us think. I don't even know if it's sold that way, but it's understand that we assume that the indicator settings that are default are the best. But how can they be the best if we all trade differently? Does that make any sense? 4 minutes till ADP. How can they be the best if we all trade differently, right? Why would the best for Paul be the same as the best for me? We could be trading two completely different ways. So how is it the best? And also, most of these indicators are not built for Forex. They're built for the stock market, which is a completely different market. So I highly advise you tinker, and these are not the default settings, but I highly advise that you tinker with the indicator settings to have them show you what you want them to show you. And that takes knowledge of price action, that takes knowledge of your indicator as well, right? So I would do something like this where I'd start tinkering with the numbers. Let's say if I move it down one, move our K a little bit faster. Okay, does that do anything? Okay, look at that. That gave my exit 1 bar sooner, guys, right? Did you notice that? Look at that. 1 bar sooner. How about I tinker with it again? Let's take my K to a 5. Okay, that didn't do anything. 4. Did 5 do something? Did 5 change? Nope. 4? Nope. What if I change my D smoothing? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Let's do 4 and 4. Hey, look at this. All of a sudden, guess what?
So I want to break up this video for a quick second just to give you guys a heads up. Jason and I have just launched the Trader Coffee Break podcast. So the same live show that you love each and every Wednesday where we go around the water cooler and answer the questions that aren't being discussed on the internet about trading is now in podcast form and available on your favorite podcasting app. Now here's the deal. We want to get the Trader Coffee Break podcast to number 1. Last I checked, we were number 24 on day 1 of our release. So we're getting closer and we need your help to do it. So do me a favor, review, rate, subscribe, and leave a message. If you do that on iTunes, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a random winner at some point and give you some really cool goodies. So the Trader Coffee Break podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts at. Rate, review, share, and put yourself in the running to win that awesome prize. All right, let's hop back in.
Where's my cross happen? Well, now my cross happens at the same candle. You guys see what I did there? Just by tinkering with the settings? Yeah. Now, what do we always talk about in trading? Give and a take, right? So whenever you make it more aggressive, there's going to be other circumstances where now it gets you out of a trade too early. So that's where you have to find that balance. So you don't assume like, oh man, I made it and it worked on this one singular example, it worked, so I'm going to use it for everything. Like, no, that's why we back test thousands of trades, right? Because you may see like, hey, it worked on this one, but like there's 80 other trades where it got me out too early. Then you kind of readjust. But that's the tinkering. That's the tinkering that you want to do with your setups, and that's the fun part of trading. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? For too hot, too cold, and you keep kind of if you're like me, you put it in the microwave for like 5 seconds at a time, and like do. Put a little tongue on it. Ooh, yep, almost there. 3 more seconds, right? I don't know if 3 seconds does anything in the microwave, but it works. Although I heard if you want to make ice cream the right temperature, a precise 7 seconds in the microwave is what you do. Not a second less, not a second more. 7 seconds exactly if you want that ice cream exactly how you want it. Give it a try. 7 seconds. Exactly. I guess it also depends on the type of microwave you have. But anyway, so yeah, cool. That's the tinkering is fun, man. That's the part I love most about strategy development. And it's a lot of it is understanding your indicator, what it tells you, what adjustments you need to make. It's also understanding price and what you want to get out of the market. But you want to, before you use an indicator, you want to know what you want to achieve. I think that's another big mistake traders make is they throw in an indicator just to throw it on. But ask yourself, what do I want to achieve with this indicator? Was I looking at the stochastics for entries? No, right? That indicator was specifically there as an exit indicator. So I was only looking at it as a way to get me out of the trade. The RSI, that was my entry indicator. That was only there to get me into the trade, right? So you can have different indicators for different reasons, an exit, an entry, and whatever other reason you want, a confirmation. Usually we talk about it in threes, right? A filter / confirmation, entry, and an exit. So cool things for you guys going on the trade strategy development part. Those are ideas you write down now and use later. We do have to explore this RSI breakout though. That'll be a summer project for me.